Let me talk to you about an example of a WTO notification and how to determine if a country has sent a WTO notification. There's a website I want to discuss with you, where you can subscribe and stay informed about all the countries sending WTO notifications. Additionally, you can stay updated on any new legislation or updates to the legislation of any country. The website is called www.epingalert.org, and it specifically deals with SPS, sanitary and phytosanitary, and TBT, technical barriers to trade platforms. As mentioned earlier, you can register on the website, create an account, and receive notifications regularly, whether weekly, monthly, or as you prefer, from the countries you choose. A weekly newsletter will also be sent to you, keeping you constantly informed about all updates and the countries sending WTO notifications. I won't take up much of your time, but let me share my screen and show you an example of SPS and TBT notifications for some Arab countries. This is the website in front of you, and it is one of the methods used to find WTO notifications. Of course, there are other methods, but let's talk about this method now, and in other courses, I will tell you about the other methods. Initially, we will perform a search for notifications. As we can see, the website displays some notifications. You can take a look at the site and register. Here, it specifies the area, whether it is SPS or TBT, and you can choose either. Let's say we want to search for TBT, and in the text section, for example, we'll type food. You can take a look at this website and perform a search for what you want. Then you can select the country, for example, Saudi Arabia. You can choose any other country and select any date range, for instance, 2021 to 2022, and immediately the results will appear. As mentioned earlier, you can filter the countries and choose the ones you want to know about, receiving weekly updates on WTO notifications from those countries. As shown in the results, for example, in Saudi Arabia, there are updates on the maximum limits for pesticide residues in food, traffic light labeling, updates on requirements for health and nutrition claims on food products, and maximum residue for pesticides, among other updates related to SPS. You can also change the search to TBT and select a random result. Here we find a committee to identify technical barriers to trade. Initially, there are notifications to members like Bahrain, Oman, and Qatar, where Qatar is the responsible entity. In this case, there is a connection between different countries, impacting multiple Arab countries. Here, they write the title, which is Soy Protein Products, with 9 pages in Arabic. Also, here is the proposed adoption date, left to be determined, and the date it enters into force, 6 months from the time of adopting and approving these decisions. There is also a final deadline for comments, 60 days from the notification date. I chose an old notification. You can certainly take a look at these updates on the site, and also in the end, links can be provided for notifications related to updated laws. Here, for example, we find a final specification project, the GSO Technical Committee. This update is about protein products and is distributed for opinions and comments, but cannot be referred to as a Gulf standard because it is not currently approved. It is only a draft. You can read it and see if you have any concerns or if it might affect anything mentioned, then submit your comments to the relevant authorities. Of course, this is one of the ways you can know about legislation. However, the version we see now is not the final version, as it might have been modified. These legislations, as we see them now, come with notifications. Sometimes there is an English version, and sometimes it's in Arabic. We can choose another one to look at, like a notification about green coffee beans. Here, it mentions green coffee beans and the preparation of the Gulf Committee, a final preparation project. You can see the rules and regulations in front of you and take a look at them. We can also look at another notification about technical barriers to trade. As clear from the relevant authorities, emails, and the responsible organization SFDA, you can read all these points and see the adoption date, approval date, the date it enters into force, comments, and everything you would like to see. The file also includes some websites and, of course, legislation. Now let's check an example for SPS in the United Arab Emirates. Let's check for sterilized milk. You can see here Section 8, which we talked about earlier, as it specifies any relevant international standards like Codex, the World Organization for Animal Health, and the International Plant Protection Convention. As in this case about sterilized milk. You can take a look at the legislation in the end. For example, this legislation about sterilized milk, you can find here notifications, comments, and follow the stage of preparing these legislations as I mentioned before. This is a good opportunity to be aware of this process. This method is very good not only for knowing about new legislation, but also, before they are implemented, you can express your concerns if there is anything that worries you. You can also manage your work according to these legislations to avoid technical obstacles hindering your trade. Here, I just wanted to explain to you practically how the website works and how to register on it. It will send notifications to you on a weekly or monthly basis. It's better to shorten the duration during which notifications are sent because a lot of changes happen in these days. You can specify all the data, such as food, countries, dates, and more. It's a beautiful way to know what's coming,